like to discuss if it's possible that we ask, instead of it being a pond, why couldn't we have more of a plan for underground sewage? But that's not appropriate today. When you come back to the council with a drainage plan in the future, if this were to be approved, my expectation is that a drainage plan would have to be approved, landscape plans, that there's a whole plethora of additional approvals that if we approve this tonight as a PD, it's not cut to just willy-nilly go do whatever you want. We still have to meet our current codes, and that's what I want our citizens to understand, is we still have opportunities to, I believe Mr. Hawks had a great question. What conditions are in place to ensure that the drainage is addressed? Well, I think we're going to address that by, if you don't solve it, you don't get a CO. So I think this council is prepared to see you guys many more times in the future, should this be approved. Is that an accurate expectation?
Somebody agree with that? I mean,
that's my expectation.
There's a couple things that have to go through: the landscape plan, the architecture plans. I mean, there's other things other than saying, hey, we're going to throw this media. This is the first out of the gate thing that we've got to do. If they're going to go forward, if the town wants to go forward, we got to change the zone. These folks aren't going to put any more money in this project if this doesn't pass today. So if it's a done deal, I'm sure they'll walk away and it stays what it is. If they're going to go forward, then they've got to have this to go forward. So that's why they pay the fee for to come into this town to say, hey, we're looking at this contingency on this land is going to be based on whether or not we get the zoning changed. If it is changed, then we go forward from there. So, we discussed the drainage earlier. That's a huge problem, huge problem for this side of town. The town is working on plans with Danenbaum. We do already have plans built and that are done. It's just a matter of getting the easements that we need in order for the plan to work. And y'all's project, if the plan was to, if your PD was to be approved, then the town would want you to go into talks with Danenbaum on a plan that's already out there that we have in place, which may be that a pond would not be needed over there. So there's some big discussions that need to take place as far as that's concerned, and that would eliminate all of, is there enough surface area, enough acreage to not do a pond versus do a pond. So it's kind of, that's kind of sitting out there. But we can't really, we're not going to employ Danenbaum to start a study on a development that's not even passed. I mean, we'd be chasing chickens all day long, because we have people come to us all the time that want to do something and we require that. We're not going to expel that money just for something that's for sure maybe that's not going to take place. So this is for the PD itself, the ordinance change. Some of the things that were brought up: 80% stone, 20% siding, maximum height 2 stories, 30-foot building setback from all the property lines all the way across. Something that y'all brought up earlier was the 15-foot of easement for Turbyville, right?
It's 12 and a half foot.
12 and a half. Okay.
That we would have to widen it. You currently have 60 foot.
So
we currently have a 60 foot easement for Turbyville on the left-hand side there.
Right.
Your long-range plan, thoroughfare plan, shows 85 feet, and which will take 12 and a half additional feet off of our property to give us half of that distance. And I'm saying 12 and a half feet from the additional lanes that we've already added there.
Right. Well, let me ask you something on that. If that's 12 and a half feet, if you go to the next subdivision over, there's a turnoff in that subdivision.
That's correct.
Which was placed there in order to not, stop traffic and so forth like that. Does that 12 and a half feet give you enough room for some people coming down Turbyville to turn off into that PD?
It'll line up with that street, yes.
Okay, so it's going to be exactly where it needs to be.
That's correct.
Okay. So that kind of eliminates part of the on and off traffic pulling out on the Turbyville Road. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. Over here on Point Vista, the expansion, the other half that's left was how many feet?
That, I believe, is right down the far right-hand side is 80, what's it say, down by the school. Michael, what is that? It's kind of fuzzy there. We doesn't have it on here. I believe that one's 85 feet also.
Be the same, John.
Mr. Mayor, I believe that would be 85 feet also on the driveway.
So that's the exit entry. But that gives us the road that we need for the expansion of Turkeyville on down.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That gives us the other half of Point Vista over here that we need as far as expanding that part of the road as well. Right?
That's correct.
Okay.
And again, I don't know if you were here during the initial part of this, but the one gate there on the lower left corner, where it says emergency, that is specifically for the fire department requirements. That's only going to be with a Knox box, and it can only exit with a fire department key.
This question is for the attorney. Some of the other changes that probably, if this was the past, that would need to take place, would take place in future meetings, correct?
Yes.
So,
Now, you can.
you can bring it up now.
Right, you can tweak them now, but if you don't, it just, again, it just means this is the very minimum they're gonna do. You can always tweak it up, like, they always own the north part, like somebody was talking about earlier, commercial later on. But for right now, this is a zoning change, it's
Correct.
not approval of the project.
Right. So before, any discussions held about all the little specifics, it comes down to the zoning piece. That's it. So I don't want to waste I'm not saying we waste time really, but I don't want to waste a lot of time on the specifics if we feel like this is a good plan for the city or it's not a good plan. But I mean, there's a lot of specifics if it goes forward, there's a lot of negatives if it doesn't. So that's up to the council. So it's open for discussion.
Mayor, if I may, a couple things. Number one, I'd like to compliment planning and zoning for their due diligence. They brought up a lot of points to ponder. I really appreciate that. And the other question I have relative to the drainage, which is always going to be an issue. It's my understanding with that pond being there, this is considered a wetland?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. We still have to get our environmental report done, but our initial discussion with our guy, he thinks it's non-jurisdictional, so we can actually, we believe we can modify the shape of the pond at this point with no government approvals.
Well, that was one of the questions I had. If it is considered a wetland, there should be limitations and restrictions on what you can and can't do. And my concern would be how that might impact what it is we're trying to do beyond that regarding drainage.
And that's stuff we can discuss with Dan and Long. That's stuff that's pretty typical in our profession, so we'll hammer all that out.
Any other discussion?
Maybe some comments. So, in other words, on Point Vista, you are adding the complete other half of that street.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
Okay. And, which is a value to the city in the long run. I know there's been discussion about this changing from, there's a commercial component to this, about a portion of it is commercial. And I know there's been discussion about loss of revenue of that. But I think, if you look at the impact on property tax, that is more than offset by sales tax that you don't know when something will develop there. So that doesn't seem to be a concern to me. And we have a lot of commercial to the north in our town center. So on Turkeyville, I understand you're going to add the lane. Will you do any improvement to the existing Turkeyville?
When we do improvements, we normally do from the center of the property, from the center of the street onto our property. If we go the other direction, we're onto someone else's property, and at that point, they may not have the proper easements or anything else to get that done, so we don't have the authority to do any improvements
but my question is, will you improve them to the middle of
To
Turbeville?
the middle of Turkeyville.
Okay,
Point Vista or Turbyville?
I'm sorry, no, Turbeville, I'm talking Turbeville.
Yes. Only halfway.
Point Vista will be improved,
Right.
and you'll leave the median there
That's correct.
and improve that, but you're also doing improvements to Turbeville, to half of Turbeville,
That's correct.
apart from the center road of the road to where it touches your property.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
A few clarifications, I'm sorry you have to keep sitting down and standing But this median, just for my own reference here, the new median that's here, that's the current tree line that's there now. So, or not.
The median is currently the curb that is currently there.
Okay.
It is not the tree line. The curb that is currently on the west side of Point Vista is that east side of the median.
Okay. And I did read in here where you're gonna make every effort to leave existing trees that are there alone and take care of the mature trees. And the new median that's here, is that gonna be part of your landscape plan, or is that something that the town needs to budget for?
Well, honestly, we normally take, on our side, the median would be the city's expense. Now, I'm gonna go back to your tree issue real quick. We haven't done a tree survey as of yet. Honestly, because there's some pretty big bulls on that property that we don't want to get into. But, we may adjust those buildings slightly to see if we can keep the trees that are there. That's if they're in the same plane in which we need to keep it. We may have to raise or lower the grades from natural grade.
Okay.
So, but we will try to keep what we can do.
While you're there, on back to Turbeville Road, question for the council, do we have, I can't remember, is there a sidewalk along Glenview?
There's a sidewalk in Glenview and it basically stops when it gets to that property line.
So when you come on down, or can you extend that sidewalk down so that we get the connectivity all the way down to the corner of Point Vista?
We can. That's a great comment. One of Jack's comments, I'm sorry, Mr. Sprague's comments was, looking for a city connector. It took me a minute to understand, what the heck's he talking about? But, if you could put a gate at the sidewalk here, where it would be a friendly pedestrian trail down Turbeville, and maybe a gate here to match up with this sidewalk by the Children's Lighthouse, maybe that would provide that connector, or easy access instead of coming out the main traffic thoroughfare. Was that?
For clarity issues, right now, we have no sidewalks drawn on there except for the one path leading to the compactor. There are multiple sidewalks between the buildings because the front doors are really in the green space that's facing the buildings themselves. That's the front access points for most of those units.
But I think what we're referring to is outside, and maybe even the sidewalk is outside the gate, right up
Correct.
along there. Are you gonna, we'd like to see a sidewalk go all the way around.
And put a
Just
cut
outside.
fence to where there's
Obviously,
a gate
they're
there.
going to require us to do it, we'll do it.
We're planting seeds for the next meeting.
There you go. That's all we can do. But yes, if it's required, we will put it in. And it improves our property also.
Absolutely.
Plus, there's one other item on there that is required, it's an ADA rule, American Disabilities Act, that has to be followed, that the architect will draw up. He'll tell us exactly where that sidewalk has to be, and what it's going to be put in there, and where we can access our property. That's not up to us, that's up to our architect and our landscape architect.
That 85 foot is clear, the way y'all have clarity on Point Vista and Turbeville, that 85 includes a sidewalk on our right of way.
Okay.
For clarification, there is along the subdivision, the wall that backs up to Glenview that's going to be 8 feet. There's no parking along that wall, it looks like.
That is correct, we removed that after the last comments.
Another seed that we might plant is that instead of an 8-foot wall, we might desire a 10-foot wall with the cedar.